Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We are from giving an explanation about this type of English poetry. But before we start, I want to introduce ourselves. My name is Alya Putri.
My name is Defta, Putriana, Alviano.
My name is Chalila Alilatulbariza. My name is Maura, Natasya, and Mulyawanata.
So we'll start from the definitions. So definition of poetry. Poetry is a type of literature that relies on multiple forms of figurative language to explore the topic with various hidden meanings. Poetry can be challenging to define because there are so many different and sometimes contradiction rules that exist for it. Poetry can thrive, follow a pattern, or break verses into stanzas of a determinate length. However, it does not have to do to any of these things to be considered poetry. Unlike novels and stories, which are usually written in straightforward prose without rhyme and meter, but poems are typically written in verse form and rhythm or pattern. Poems are generally much shorter than other types of literature, and poems often use the poetic form to explore topics more imaginative or abstracted.
Next, we'll explain what identity.
Alright, I want to learn about the Old English period. The Old English period marks the beginning of English poetry, characterized by its origin and Anglo-Saxon culture. Culture during this time was heavily oral, and the language used was closely connected with everyday life, particularly in agriculture and warfare. The first form was primarily alliterative, which involved the repetitions of consonant sounds to create rhythm and aid memorization. Alright, for this characteristics of this period, for the first one is oral traditions. Poetry was primarily transmitted orally, often by scouts or bards who used alliterative verse to tell stories, commemorate heroic deeds, and convey cultural values. For example, like Beowulf, one of the famous Old English epics, was originally passed down orally by scouts or bards. These quotes will recite detail of Beowulf's heroic deeds in battle, using rhythmic and alliterative first to help the audience remember the story. Alright, for the next characteristic of this period is religious and heroic themes. Many poems from this period dealt with religious themes, reflecting the Christianizations of Anglo-Saxon England, as well as heroic themes, celebrity warriors, and their deeds. And for example, is In the Dream of the Rood, an old English Christian poem, the narrator dreams of the cross on which Christ was crucified. It blends both religious and heroic elements. Alright, for the next characters is use of canons, a stylistic feature involving compound expressions with metaphorical meaning like well for sea. Example like canons are compound expression used in all English poetry to describe something in more metaphorical way. One of the most famous example is as I said before, Beowulf, like Animal World, Moon House, and Sky Candle. It's like one of the most famous lines. Alright, for the notable works from this period is, as I said before, Beowulf by Beowulf and The Wanderer, the analogic poem that explores themes of clothes, exils, and longing, marked by a reflective and melancholy tone, and the seafarer and the wise lament. And for the functions of this from this period, All English poetry serve as means to preserve cultural heritage through oral traditions and also religious expressions. It provides a way to express religious belief and values, especially with the spread of Christianity in England. For the next is Middle English period. The Middle English period began after the Roman Codex of 1666, which significantly influenced the English language and culture. And this era saw transitions from Old English to Middle English, a language shaped by the integration of Norman French, vocabulary, and linguistic structure. Middle English poetry moved away from the alliterative verse of the Old English period to embrace more rhythmic and rhyme forms. And characteristic from this period is rhythm and rhyme. For the first is rhythm and rhyme. The use of rhythm and rhyme became prominent in Middle English poetry, departing from the alliterative verse of the English 16th period. For example, like the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer is one of the most famous examples of Middle English poetry that embraced rhythm and rhyme, which is pair of lines where the end words rhyme, like ones that appear with the short soon. And these opening lines from the general poem of the Canterbury Tales show the use of rhyme and regular manner. Alright, for the next is the diverse themes. This period saw the emergence of chivalric romance, religious allegories, and moral tales reflecting the interests of both the country and common audience. For the next characteristic, development of narrative poetry. A marked shift towards storytelling through poetry with longer narrative works becoming more common. And for example, like Middle English poetry cover a wide range of themes from chivalric romance to religious allegories. One famous chivalric romance is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, a poem that blends the ideals of knighthood and common behavior with supernatural movements. The notable work from this period is, as I said before, the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, and in it, Sir Gawain and the Queen. The function of this from this period as for the first is social commentary. Middle English poetry often commented on social issues like for love, chivalry, and the virtues of knighthood. And next is cultural reflections. It reflected the social economic of the time, including the influence of Norman French on English poetry. Next is Renaissance English. The Renaissance in England was marked by a renewed interest in classical learning, the arts, and humanism. This period saw the flourishing of English poetry, greatly influenced by the revival of classical Greek and Roman literature. The inventions of the printing press and the translation of the Bible into English also contributed to the proliferations of literary works. The characteristic from this period is classical influence. Thoughts drew heavily from classical Greek and Roman literature, incorporating themes of mythology, philosophy, and rhetoric. And for the next characteristic, exploration of human conditions. Themes such as love, beauty, mortality, and the human experience became central poetic expressions. For the example, like William Shakespeare's sonnets are one sensual example of exploring human conditions. His sonnet often addressed themes of love, beauty, fun, and mortality. Alright, for the next characteristic is innovative use of language. Renaissance experimented with new forms, matter, and stylistic devices. And notable works from this period, for the first one is sonnets by William Shakespeare, a collection of poems exploring the of love, beauty, politics, mortality, and life hidden in the Iambic pentameter. For the second notable work is Preparing Putriana by Edmund Spencer and Alviano and take from the advertise of symbolic ideals and moral values using a unique mind standpoint and the food functions from this period for is cultural revival, the Renaissance period saw revival classical form and theme aiming to be connected with the full heritage of antiquity. Alright, for this second function is social commentary. This poem in this period used their words comment on social issues like morality, politics, and personal relationships. Next is the explaining idea. That is the metaphysical part. The metaphysical parts were a group of English poets who wrote in the late 17th century. They are known for their deep intellectual thoughts and the use of complicated metaphors, which are both conceits. These poets were not just writing about feelings like love or sadness. They were also thinking deeply about big topics like life, death, and religion. Their poems are often very complex and mixing emotion with intellectual ideas. And one of the most famous poets from this period is John. His collection, Holy Sonnets, is well known for its unique exploration of love, life, and divine judgment. John used complex religious imagery and metaphors to show his struggles with faith and mortality. And another well-known poet is Andrew Marvell. His poem, To His Own Mistress, is famous for using metaphysical concepts to talk about love, time, and death. The poet used clever arguments and vivid image to present a woman who says the moment before time runs out. And then the main characteristics of this period are the use of philosophical and religious ideas along with intellectual wit. The poems challenge readers to think deeply and reflect on life, love, and the meaning of existence. And then we move on to the next period, the Augustan age. This period is named after the Roman Emperor Augustus, as writers of the time admired the order and structure of ancient Rome and Greece. The poets of the Augustan age focused on classical ideas such as reason, order, and unity. This period is most famous for its satire, a type of writing that uses humor and wit to criticize society, politics, and human behavior. Then one of the most important poets of this time was Alexander Pope. His poem, The Wreck of the Law, is a mock epic that makes fun of the petty concerns of high society. Pope used humor to criticize how some people focus too much on material things. And another key figure is the Natasya, who has gone religious travels and his views satire to comment on politics, human nature, and the problems of the society of his time. And then the main characteristics of this period include the use of satire, classical influence, and a focus on reason and order. Augustan poets use their writing to reflect the world around them and to criticize the corruption and foolishness they saw in society. And the next period is Romanticism. Romantic period that emerged in response to the human emphasis on research and industrial revolutions effect on society. Romantic thoughts focus on individual emotion, subliming nature, and imagination. This period, which was connection began the three goals of reason and order from the Augustan age. Romantic poets believe in the power of emotion, imagination, and nature. They often talk about the beauty of nature and the importance of personal feelings. During this time, many poets began to move away from cities, which were growing because of the industrial revolution, and they looked for inspiration in the natural world. And one famous romantic poet is William Wordsworth. His poem, I Wonder What He Is About, celebrates the beauty of nature, specifically the image of daffodils. Wordsworth felt that nature could bring peace and joy to the human spirit. And another famous romantic poet is Samuel Taylor Coleridge. His poem, The Real of the Ancient Mariner, is a long narrative about sin, redemption, and the supernatural. It shows the power of nature and the mysterious forces that can influence the human life. And the main characteristic of romanticism include a strong focus on emotion, imagination, and the celebration of nature. These poets want to break free from the rules of reason and express their personal experiences and feelings through their poetry.
Now let's talk about the Victorian period. It happened around 1830 to 19th century. The Victorian period saw the blending of romantic ideals with a new emphasis on realism and social commentary. Poetry from this period often address contemporary social issues and reflect the complexities of a rapidly changing world. There are some characteristics from this period. First, using realism. Victorian poets often use realistic description to address the social and moral issues of the time, and they are using symbolism and morality. Their works frequently contain symbolic elements and explore themes related to morality, religion, and human nature. And there are some notable works, like the first one, My Last Duchess by Robert Browning in 1842, a dramatic monologue that reveals the psyche of a jealous and controlling duke. And then In Memoriam of A.H.H. by Alfred Lord Tennyson in 1850, an early mourning the death of Tennyson's friend, exploring themes of grief, faith, and mortality. And for the function, first used for social commentary. Victorian poetry often critique social injustice, reflect on personal morality, and explore the human condition. And next one, as cultural reflection. It mirrors the societal anxieties and aspirations of the Victorian era, marked by industrialization and scientific progress. And for the famous poet, we have Alfred Lord Tennyson, the poet laureate of the United Kingdom. Tennyson's works, such as In Memoriam, are known for their emotional depth and exploration of contemporary issues. And into the next period, we have modern period. It happened around 18th century until now. The modern period of English poetry, beginning in the late 18th and early 20th centuries, was marked by a break from traditional forms and a focus on new ways of expression. Modernist poets like D.S. Eliot and W.B. Yeats experiment with abstract forms and innovative use of language to reflect the complexity of modern life. For the characteristics, it used innovation and experimentation. Modernist poets broke away from traditional forms, using free verse and unconventional structure and exploration of modern life. Their works often reflect disillusionment, fragmentation, and a sense of uncertainty, mirroring the complexities of contemporary life. For the notable works, we have The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot in 1922, a modernist poem that explored themes of disillusionment and spiritual decay in post-World War I society. And then The Second Coming by W.B. Yeats In 1818, a poem reflecting on the cyclical nature of history and the coming of a new era. For the function, it can be used as cultural reflection. Modernist poetry mirrors the fragmentation and uncertainties of the modern world, influenced by rapid social and technological change, and then intellectual expression. Poets use their work to engage with complex intellectual needs and to challenge conventional perspectives. For the famous poet, we have T.S. Eliot, a major figure in modernist poetry. Eliot's innovative use of language and form in works like The Westland and The Love Song of G. Alfred Prufrock have had a profound influence on contemporary literature. And here a table of each period from Old English period to modern period.
Right, we are already at the conclusion. So, the history of English poetry takes them through enduring power of the written word to capture the human appearance. From the epic tales of the Anglo-Saxons to the introspective reflections of the modern poets. English poetry has continually evolved, mirroring the complexity of the societies from which it emerged. While its period in the history of English poetry is distant, they are all connected by the poet's shared commitment to exploring the depth of language and emotions. As we continue to study and appreciate English poetry, we gain insight not only into the past, but also into the timeless nature of human expressions. So, I think that's all from us. I'm sorry if there are any mistake we made. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.